evening, everyone. Good evening, Matthew Peterson.
Hello.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you today on our fifth episode of Dialogue
Nice.
Tree. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Sorry it took so long. I told you that I was out playing fucking bingo.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And it took a lot longer than I expected it to. But hey, man, I'm here. I survived, and I'm here, and I'm revitalized after playing bingo. I'm revitalized to be recording this shit today, and I'm happy, and I'm excited.
I can't blame you too much because I said I wasn't going to be able to record today, but I didn't end up hanging out with Resta, so I had nothing to do all day. It's fine though. I played some awful video games with Cam.
Which ones?
Did you see that in the group chat? He sent like a code. He was like, "Hey, this game is terrible. If you want a free copy, here you go."
Oh, is that the one that he had someone send it to him for like a review?
Yeah, it's quite bad.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's not very fun.
Oh, that's too bad. Is it a like a space shooter? I'm guessing.
Yes,
or something like that.
Yeah, it's a space shooter. He's gonna actually still review it because the guy sent it to him for free. So if that is out by the time this is out, I will put that in the description.
Okay.
So people can go check out gameplay footage. I honestly don't even remember what it's called, but that's what I did for today. And we played some actual games too.
Yeah. But that's just multiplayer though? Like you were playing like cooperatively?
Yeah, it's up to 4.
Oh, okay. It couldn't have been, I don't know. At least you're like interacting with them and stuff, right?
I mean, we could just sit in a Discord call and talk to each other too. Like, probably be more fun.
No. You're right. Cool. Well, excellent. What the hell happened with Resta? Did he not make it?
Yeah, he was gonna take the train here, but...
Do you want to introduce Resta? I don't know, say something about him.
Yeah, our mutual friend and my old roommate, Jordan, has been a great companion to us throughout the years, and he was going to come visit me in Connecticut. And then yesterday, well, he was supposed to show up today, so yesterday, I didn't know he hadn't bought the ticket already. He says, hey, I need help buying the ticket. I'm like, okay, let me look up the train name. So I do. He says, okay, I'll buy it tomorrow. And then this morning I wake up and he says, basically, the train isn't there. And I look at it and he's right. The train it runs every other day. And I don't know if this is because it's a holiday, but every day it goes in between. So today it was going northbound back towards Worcester, and tomorrow it'll be coming south. So it was like the exact opposite of what we wanted because he has class on Monday.
Yeah, so he can't go, and so he can't go tomorrow. He couldn't go tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll have to hang out after he finishes finals.
Yeah, it was garbage, man. Well, that's too bad.
It's a shame though. There's a Christmas tree kind of event downtown this week, and they put lights on everything and all the trees like in the park, and it looks really cool.
Miss it. Yeah, I would have liked to see that shit. Shit has begun to get decorated here, like the streets and like businesses and like big buildings and stuff have kind of put decorations, but it's not anything nearly, at least from what I've seen so far, it's nothing as, elaborate as some of the shit that I saw when I was back in the States. I used to go, I don't remember where exactly I used to go, but with this girl that I dated for a long time, with her family, once we went to somewhere in Western Mass. So this girl lived in Granby, and so it must have been nearby. I don't remember exactly where, like what town or whatever. But it was like a whole road, and like to the sides it had a bunch of different like light images, if you will. I don't really know how to describe it. It was like wired, and like around the wires it had like lights, so it had like a different like pictures, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a thing.
But it was all like sprinkle light.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it was cool because they had like themes. They had like a whole Dr. Seuss little section, and like as you entered, they even told you like what radio to like switch on to, so you can like listen to like a tour, like a tour guide, and then a couple of songs here and there and stuff. It's just I don't know, it's cool. Yeah, I like that shit. I used to like that shit a lot. With her, I actually got to experience a lot of like, I guess the American type Christmas with her. I also went to get a tree with her family once or twice, maybe even. And that shit was cool, man. You know what I mean? Like growing up in Honduras, I used to see that shit on TV all the time, but like, it's so foreign still. You know what I mean? Like I know what happens, but like I've never really known what it's actually like to like be out there and like look around like the tree farm and like find your own tree and then get in the guy to like actually fucking saw it off and carry it home. I don't know. It was cool, man. I'm glad I got to like experience that at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Your mic is still pretty noisy.
Damn, dude, is it my shirt has a collar?
That might be it.
Yeah, let me 1 second. I'm hoping that'll help with the noise that my microphone's causing.
Yeah, it sounds fine now.
Excellent.
So you were at bingo.
Yeah.
Yes, and you've sent me this image, and I didn't really look too hard at it the first time you sent it because I didn't realize it was a bingo prize.
Would you care to describe the image?
Yeah, so it's like a mixing bowl, and in the mixing bowl is 4 different brands of mostly full bags of flour. I can't tell if they're all unopened, and it's all just poorly wrapped in like saran wrap. And it's probably about like $40 worth of flour, and it's just in a bowl.
That's exactly what it is, dog.
Why? Who needs that much flour from bingo?
Yeah, no, that was the prize, man. That's what I won. This shitload of flour that I don't know who's gonna use it or for what. It's a lot of flour. Like that should be enough flour for the house for like the next, I don't know,
2 years.
No, like yeah, like at least 2 months. How often
you like fry or bake things, or make like cookies, but it's a lot of flour.
Yeah, no, we make like tortillas a lot, both corn flour and wheat flour, pretty often. Mom makes pancakes like every weekend, pretty much. So it'll get used up. It's just a lot of it, and it'll probably save us purchasing flour for like at least like a month or 2. That's for sure.
It's like a nice thing to have, but it's a weird prize. You know what I mean?
No, you're definitely right. So as I was beginning to explain to you, this wasn't quite like a bingo carton prize. They do this shit like between the bingo rounds. They as I was telling you, you buy your ticket right for the bingo, with which you claim your bingo card. And each of these tickets, it has a number in one of the corners. And so like in between, say like after a couple of bingo rounds, after 2 bingo rounds, they'll just pick a random number from a bowl. And if it matches the number that you have on your ticket, you get some bullshit prize. Those prizes are bullshit though. Like I don't know if I should be saying this because this is a bingo that my mom's job sponsors, but it was weird. Like my buddy won, I think, the first one of these prizes. I think the very first one he won it, and it was just like a brown bag, those brown paper bags, full of like different drugs, right? Like medicine, like medication.
All right, yeah, I mean, drugs is a pretty contentious way of putting it.
Yeah, that was very purposeful.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just a bunch of different medications. But the weird part is that they're not like your typical over-the-counter medications that you would get for like a cold or for like stomach problems or stuff. It was a bunch of medications that I'd never heard of before. So I don't know if this specific like lab, like medication lab, was sponsoring also this bingo, and so that's why you had these like very, very specific like medicine that I've never heard of or seen. But so that's the kind of prizes that you get with the number on your ticket. And so my buddy got a brown bag with a bunch of fucking weird medicine that I've never seen before, and I got like fucking months worth of a variety of different kinds of flour.
That's not bad compared. I think I'd take the flour over unlabeled medicine, or I guess just unknown medicine.
Yeah, right.
It's probably labeled.
Yeah, I told my buddy that we should just like take something because we were at fucking bingo, and so maybe just like trying one of those medications would just make things a lot more interesting. But he wouldn't.
I wanted to interrogate you a little further about that image you had sent me, but I feel pretty satisfied now that you've explained yourself.
No further questions?
About bingo? I don't think so. Do you have anything else about bingo you wanted to say?
When was the last time you were at bingo? Did you go to any of the Clark ones at all? Ever?
I went to one on Spree Day, which is like the party day, so everyone was really already like drinking at the bingo, and it was just a miserable experience.
Yeah, I bet. And that's like the kind of activities that they have on offer for like kids who don't want to engage in like drinking and consumption of substances and shit like that. Probably, right?
You can still do you can still like get lunch and listen to the music and do the other fun stuff that's still fun. I just don't think bingo is the good time for most people, unless you win. If you win, it's awesome.
Yeah. But like the chances of winning are just fucking so slim.
Yeah.
I don't remember when the last time I was that I actually won at bingo. And like I go to one, dude, I swear to God, at least like once a year here at home.
It's kind of like playing the lottery, but instead of money, you're using your lifespan.
Yeah. I guess at least like this is, I don't know, at least a lot of the bingos that I go to are actually for like fundraising and shit. So like,
oh, okay.
But then again, on the other hand, you could just like buy the bingo ticket and contribute to whatever the cause is, and then just not even fucking go.
Yeah, but wouldn't it just be more direct to donate to that charity?
Anyway, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, bingo is weird. My buddy was like, "I'm never going to fucking bingo again." I guess he hadn't been to one before. Yeah, no, that was weird. It's good that I got them to come with me though, because otherwise I'd have just been sitting there with like my parents, and it's fine, but it's just, I don't know,
That's nice of them to join you.
Yeah.
So you know what we didn't talk about last episode?
No, don't say it, dog.
We didn't talk about.
Do you want to talk about it on this episode? I feel like we'd had a lot to talk about it. We would have a lot to talk about it on this episode.
That's why I was going to bring it up.
Okay, bring it up.
Well, last episode we didn't talk about Castlevania.
Oh shit. Okay. No, we didn't. We talked about a bunch of other bullshit. Very entertaining, but we did miss our segment on Castlevania, which apparently is something that we've been doing on every episode.
Yeah, without even knowing.
Even knowing.
So I guess welcome to the Castlevania segment.
Yeah.
For this episode.
Cool. I'm down.
But I do bring it up because I actually something to talk about. I just don't have randomly forcing us to talk about Castlevania.
Okay, cool.
So I finished Symphony of the Night, and I guess I was just under leveled at that part I was complaining about. Because once I killed some enemies, I got a ton of experience.
Okay.
And everything kind of smoothed out. The game was like pretty comparable after that point.
Yeah.
And I say it's really good after finishing it. I really like it. It's super fun.
Okay.
And I'd recommend it.
Interesting. Because I don't know if this is a point that I've made in one of the previous episodes, but playing, maybe because that's the first, like maybe that's like the first Metroidvania game, and so like shit had to like be fleshed out a little bit still. But in any of the Metroidvanias that I've played, of the Castlevanias, I've never had an issue with feeling under leveled. You know what I mean? I usually just, and it's not even that I have to like grind. I just I get like lost finding like the where I have to go. So I go around the castle a lot, and I'll just end up killing all the monsters in every room that I like go back to, and I just level up, I guess, naturally, which is kind of what I like, right? It never feels like I never feel like I'm grinding. I never feel like I have to grind. It just kind of happens naturally, and I think it makes sense to me because then there is a lot of backtracking, which I understand if people are not a fan of that aspect of the game. But like as I am backtracking and I'm killing all these monsters and I'm leveling up, then the backtracking just gets a lot easier because you don't struggle to kill the monsters anymore.
I just don't know if leveling up really serves the gameplay at all. I think Hollow Knight does it better, where you become better at the game and you get more moves, but you don't like just change your stats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't just get like stronger than some of the enemies. You just develop different ways to like, I guess, defeat them.
Yeah, it's a little more emergent, I guess. It's a little more creative in the way you have to get around things instead of just being stronger.
That's fair. But yeah, so you would recommend?
It's still really good. Yeah. Have you heard the ending credits for the original?
For the original Castlevania?
No. I mean, for the original Symphony of the Night. I apologize.
No, dude, no.
I'm sending you the link now. Just listen to this.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
No way, dude.
It's really it.
Just like the wind.
It sounds pretty out of place, man.
I know, it's very strange.
Drifting high.
It's like the kind of shit that I would expect on the credits of like a made-for-TV family movie,
Yeah, or like a soap opera.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like the song itself is not
very weird.
Yeah, like the song itself is not like poor or anything. It's just feels really out of place.
Yeah, because also
not that I've played Symphony of the Night at all, but like I know Castlevania and I know what they look like and I know what you have to do, and like I would never expect this kind of song to play in any of the Castlevanias that I've played.
And I mean, Dracula is Alucard's father, so you murder your dad, and then this song plays.
You murder your dad, and then this shit plays.
But I just wanted to draw attention to that because I feel like people really don't know that because it was taken out of all the future versions of the game.
Yeah, that is very, very interesting, man. Fucking Castlevania and their ending credits, like the original one with all the weird names, like the
well, that was
like the throwback type names.
That was just a thing back in the day.
Yeah, like other games did it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was other people besides Nintendo, but Nintendo did this a lot where to stop the developers from being poached and arguably to make it so that their working conditions were harder because they would have a harder time going to another company.
Yeah,
they would obscure the names of creators. And yeah, I think this was other companies. I think I played something else where they also did this. They just put fake names so that the other companies couldn't just pay the developers more and steal all their good devs.
No, I was going to say that's fair, but it's not. I guess it makes sense for what they were trying to do.
I'm pretty sure they don't do it because like a court ruled it unethical.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
I thought it was just kind of like a weird gag that they did with, like naming one of the.
Well, yeah, I can't say I approve of the weird pun method.
The pun
they did with it. They could have just used any normal fake names.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that was weird. No, I kind of lost it when I saw Bram Stoker with a V.
Yeah,
that's kind of like all right,
All right, yeah, that's not really a joke.
Yeah,
it's just.
But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say to everyone here is that I have finally beaten the original Castlevania, and I'm very, very proud of it. And I guess I have.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I have very many thanks owed to Matthew Peterson for uploading a very, very useful guide that definitely helped me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Through some of the toughest, I guess, sections of the game because that game is fucking brutal.
Yeah, the ending sucks.
Definitely
the hardest part.
With all those fucking fleamen, I hated that shit.
Yeah, and also the part right before it, they put the level 1 boss, but there's just 5 of him, and there's like pits everywhere.
Oh, the bad guy. I forgot that he was the level 1 boss. I forgot about him.
Yeah. I mean, he's a wimpy boss, but they just put 5 bosses in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally forgot about that because I just kind of like ran through that part. Even like before I saw your video, I figured that like, okay, I guess I can just like kind of tank through.
Yeah,
it.
if you just jump at the right places, you can kind of just manipulate them to ignore you.
Yeah, so I think I got a couple of hits, but I was still able to just pretty much just like run through the whole section.
Yeah.
But what a cool game, dude! The fucking soundtrack, man. There's something about about these classic Nintendo soundtracks that I just fucking love. Like the amount of like attention and detail that they would put into these old games before people really knew what games were or what they should be, and then they would put so much effort into like the soundtrack to make sure that it was like a rounded off package, right? Like the gameplay was cool, the visuals were cool, but even like the fucking music, it's sick, man. It just makes the whole experience like a whole lot more enjoyable. Not even enjoyable, but even like endurable, right? Because like some sections are just like so hard, but then you hear like the really upbeat music, and so you're just like, all right, I got to do it. I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, it's sick, man. It's sick.
Yeah, that's all I had to talk about Castlevania. Do you have anything else to talk about Castlevania?
No, other than maybe I kind of talked about this a little bit before. I think it was on our first episode, but I started immediately playing Castlevania 4, and I just feel like I just go through the motions with that game so far, man. I think I've played through like the first couple of stages already, and like it looks cool, right? And like controlling whatever the character in that game is, it feels cool because like he feels heavy.
I'm trying to think of it.
I don't know who he is. It's not Simon, is it?
Keep going.
Yeah, he feels heavy. His like animation is like, it's just like cool to look at. Whatever, right? The game looks cool and like the music is still pretty cool, but like I just don't find it engaging. As I'm saying, I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I feel like I'm just walking forward and like whipping shit. But like, that's just kind of it, right? That's kind of where it like ends. It doesn't feel nearly as well designed as the original one to me anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I've looked it up. It is Simon.
It is Simon.
I didn't know that.
Speaking of, I did order I didn't engage in a lot of Black Friday shopping because I try not to.
Mm-hmm.
But I did order a Sega Genesis Mini because I love collecting that type of shit. And it was very, very cheap for Black Friday. I got it for like $50 when originally it goes for like 80. And one of the games, I'm pretty much only excited to play 2 games, but because I like collecting it, which is pretty much why I bought it. But of course, I am going to play on it, and I think I'm pretty much only excited for 2 games. One of them being, of course, Mega Man: The Wily Wars, and Castlevania Bloodlines would be the other one. I don't think I'm really like hard pressed in playing any of the other games included. And I'm sure I will. Like I'm sure I'll play Streets of Rage because like beat 'em ups, those classic beat 'em ups are still kind of fun. But whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's in it, but those are good games. So I'm sure you'll at least get some fun out of it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games in that shit, like 40 or something. A lot of them which I've never ever heard. I guess I would kind of be interested in playing Earthworm Jim because I like just like the visual style of it. And I don't know. I guess because I have a Genesis, I guess that I would put myself through playing the Sonic games, but God damn, I don't want to, man. Like that's not really at all why I'm getting the Genesis Mini. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. I am excited about it though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Wait, Matthew, there's something by my foot. Let me see what it is. Oh shit. Damn,
shit.
It's the hot take alert, dog. Hot take alert.
God, that one really got me that time.
Good.
I have a hot take prepared.
Excellent.
And it's kind of like a 2-part hot take, but not really.
How controversial is it, do you think? How controversial would you rate it before you start talking about it?
I'd say the first half is maybe like a 6.
Okay.
But the second half is like an 8.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
So, Star Wars Episode 1 is a pretty good movie.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't think it's that bad at all.
Okay.
The only parts I really, truly don't like, which here's the second part, is pod racing, which everyone says is their favorite. I think it's kind of boring and it goes on for way too long.
No way.
And there's this dumb part where Anakin gets into a spaceship and everyone agrees that's stupid and it's a total waste of time.
Okay.
But I also don't like the pod racing. I think it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
But everyone else seems to love it. I don't know why. Because it's
sorry, go ahead.
It's so superfluous to the plot, right?
Yeah.
It's so contrived that Watu is both immune to force powers and the only guy who sells engines on the planet or whatever. Yeah. Like, why are they doing this? Yeah. They could just get the engine somewhere else, get the money somewhere else. Like, this is so unnecessary.
They just built it into the story to have like a cool, like special effectsy scene that would like blow people away.
Yeah,
back then or whatever.
And I know they want to save Anakin, but they could just kidnap them, kind of leave his mother to die.
Yeah, shit.
The slavers. It's kind of their fault that she dies.
No, I've never. Yeah, I'm not very much into Star Wars, so I haven't really seen any of those movies in a really, really long ass time. But you're right. I do get the general consensus that like the pod racing is kind of what gets people most excited, and like at least what people remember the most, I guess, about the episode 1. But I do understand also that some people don't really think like it's necessarily a bad movie. It's just like a weird children's type Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah, if I were to rate it on its own, I would say it's like maybe like a 7.5. It's pretty good.
Okay.
But compared to the other Star Wars, it would be like a 6. I don't know, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as either 2 or 3, or as people say about it. Jar Jar is stupid, but whatever.
He doesn't like break the movie or makes it unbearable or whatever.
No.
Yeah. I guess the one thing that I could say about episode 1 is that I love that meme that I'm pretty sure I sent you or the group with that dude. I think it's a dude that you're talking about with the engines. That he's just so the meme is like a picture.
Bulba?
Yeah. The picture is just like a picture. Like a picture. The meme is just a picture of a car, like stuck in traffic or whatever. And like on the passenger seat, you see like some random old dude. But then like beyond him, you can kind of make out the silhouette of Sebulba.
Oh yeah,
as if he's just like fucking driving an old, I don't know, whatever, like a Honda Civic or whatever.
Yeah,
I love that meme. It's excellent. But yeah, that's all I had to say.
It was he's a different character than the one who owns Anakin.
Okay.
But that's not too important.
Yeah.
I will say there is one facet of the pod race I really enjoy is that somewhere in the middle of it, the announcers say, "Oh, here come the Tusken Raiders," and these guys just come onto like a cliff with sniper rifles and just start shooting at all the pod
and all
racers.
the racers? What the fuck?
And the announcer just like expects this. Like this is a normal thing that happens every race.
They just like out to like murder the racers
or pay them to fire on the pod racers to enhance their gladiatorial sport, which I find very amusing.
Right. That's some entertainment.
I think Darth Maul could have not died at the end, but
he gets like torn in half, doesn't he? Like sliced in half.
I mean, okay, well, I guess is this even spoilers? I know Darth Maul lives, but not in the prequels, so I'm counting him as dead for the prequels.
And it's also like a fucking 20-year-old movie, so whatever.
It's not even a spoiler for the prequels because I don't even remember what he came back in.
Yeah.
But he's back in other media alive.
Oh, like
which is stupid. He got cut in half and fell in a reactor. How did he live?
So he's alive like after the events of episode 1.
Yeah, he has robot legs.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't know that shit.
I mean, yeah, and it would have been fine if he died and they didn't introduce just random guy as the villain. Like they have Dooku randomly appear and then Grievous randomly appears.
Yeah,
and it's just like, who are these people?
Right.
They're lame. But now I'm talking about the other movies, which was not my point.
You said you had a second half to your hot take.
Oh, the second half was just that I don't like the pod racing, but I like the rest of the movie, which I think is the opposite of everyone.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude.
You know what I mean?
My mom's calling me. Can you like handle the podcast solo for like a couple of minutes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Later.
Yeah, see you. All right, how's it going, guys? How you been? How was your Thanksgiving? I had a nice family Thanksgiving. Nothing special. We didn't want to travel or have any stress, so it was just. I just went and ate dinner with my parents. It was very nice. I made a sandwich out of turkey, stuffing, like cranberry gravy, all the good stuff. And it was a disaster because it just falls apart, right? It was a terrible idea. And stuffing, when you think about it, stuffing is just bread. So what kind of maniac puts bread in their stuffing? That's stupid. Senseless. I don't know what I was thinking. That sounds like Daniel's coming back, but I'm not sure.
Damn, dude, that's very perceptive of you.
Welcome back.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to listen to what surprises lie ahead of this thing going live because I have no idea what you talked about for like those 30 seconds that I was gone for.
I really should have used the opportunity to insult you, but I didn't.
Okay, good. I appreciate it. I just have to move back into my room because I thought my parents had left for their whatever wedding they're going to tonight already, but they just went out.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to talk about something that I've sent you images of over the last couple of weeks, I think, but we haven't addressed it to the extent that I guess I would have wanted to, or I guess expected.
I have no idea what you're gonna say. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so let me see if I need to find an image first. So we talk about Castlevania every episode, and I talk about fucking Game Grumps every episode too. It's pretty evident to everyone listening that I am a big fan of the Game Grumps, and I watch a lot of their content. It's kind of the stuff that I just like put onto like this, they keep in the background while I'm doing some other shit, you know, because like I'm scared to be like alone with my thoughts or whatever. I'll always just have that shit playing in the background when I'm just like at home doing random shit, whatever. So they were playing Sonic and the Black Knight or whatever. I was watching.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was watching one of that series a little bit, and so I just got like looking at them play it and listen to their commentary and whatever. I just got curious as to what the video game magazines online and print thought about the game upon release, and I stumbled upon a really interesting review from IGN, and it's not particularly interesting in any other way other than the fact that like on their verdict section it says, and I quote, "The intense speed, loop-de-loops, and pinball jumps that Sonic is known for have been altogether removed for insultingly bad swordplay tied to retarded wee waggle that will leave your arm sore and your heart broken." Dude, what the fuck? How is this shit still live?
I don't know.
I tweeted it at them saying like, dude, like what the fuck is this? How are they? I'm not one to like police. I don't think it's cool to like toss the retarded word around, but I'm not the one to like police it. But like it's just odd to me, right? That like,
yeah, and it's like not like AVGN, right? It's like IGN is like very faux professional. They won't swear and they pretend to like be very serious about what they do.
And it's like international and everything. You're right. They're supposed to be like actual video game journalists, you know, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
A lot of employees, editors, and shit, you know, and that shit, and the game didn't even come out that long ago, right? It's still this decade, I think.
I mean, it's on Wii, so it can't be that long ago.
That just seems so odd to me that shit is still there and you can still find it.
Yeah. You know, the answer might be as simple as you are the only soul looking up the Sonic and the Black Knight IGN review these days.
I'm fucking at latter end of 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I got curious, man. What can I say? And then the other one, it's still related to IGN. It's another IGN review. I've been really curious about playing the fucking, because you know I'm a big Contra fan. I'm a big like run and gun fan. But I never really played any of the Metal Slug games. I remember playing them in the arcade very briefly back in the day. But me being a run and gun fan, I feel like it's a game that I should at least like beat at least one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking at, I saw that there's like a game, Metal Slug 11 is exclusive for the DS. And I was like, all right, let me look at some reviews to see what people think about this game, if it's worth playing over any of the originals or whatever. And so once again, on the verdict section of the review, IGN, it says something. Let me read. It says, it's fun, and if you're a Metal Slug fan, I'd encourage you to still pick it up, as it's more from the franchise many of us love to a stalker-like degree. And what a weird way to word your sentiments toward your fandom of any kind of media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you say you like something to a stalker-like degree? First of all, stalking is, I think, pretty generally it's a pretty general consensus that it's not something bad. Cool to do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So like, if you're IGN, like one of the biggest video game magazines internationally and everything, why would you describe it like that? Why would you not find any other fucking way to word it? You know what I mean?
It also doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And so I thought it was weird that in the span of like a week or 2 weeks, I ran into these very odd reviews that are still live to this day on the IGN website. You know, and I feel like a lot of people, if they like, if whatever, like if people were to find out about the Sonic and the Black Knight review thing, like a lot of people will call them out on it. I feel like, you know.
Yeah. Maybe they're doing well. I don't know. I never am interested in what they have to say because I've kind of grown up watching individual personalities. Yeah, obviously they have like individual writers, but they don't have that their own like show. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's like super like produced and stuff. Yeah. Right? Like a lot of production goes into it, like a lot of editors and shit. I'm sure. Like, sure, you have like your writer, but like I'm sure there's like editors who like look over.
Yeah, it feels pretty BuzzFeedy. You know,
right.
Like too safe to be of any value, entertainment wise.
Yeah. Right. That's totally fair. But yeah, no. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's super weird that exists for IGN.
Right? Yeah, I thought it was. And I thought it was worth bringing up.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it to the attention of the public.
Of course. I don't know, Matthew. I don't know what the fuck else is going on, dude. This kind of. I've spoken about what I prepared during the week that I knew that I wanted to bring up.
I was going to talk about a book I read. So if you've never read a Neil Gaiman book, have you? I don't know.
No, dude. No, I have not.
And his name is pronounced that way, by the way. I looked it up just to make sure, and that's how he says his name. So it's not Gaiman. I've had many people tell me it's Gaiman, but it is not.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to be sure.
But I was reading this collection of short stories he wrote, and one of them was a sort of Sherlock Holmes fan fiction set in the H.P. Lovecraft universe. And it was really good. It's only like probably 20 pages, but I thought it was awesome. And it made me want to read the anthology that he wrote it for. And I'll have to like buy it. It wasn't at the library. I'll have to go find it somewhere else. But it was so interesting to like combine those two universes. And I thought he did it really well.
Right.
And now I've just been reading other stuff by him because I got kind of reminded of how good of an author he is.
So you've read more stuff from him other than like these short stories that you were reading?
So right now I'm reading this. It's kind of like a history book. It's not really. It's a bunch of Norse mythology, but he kind of shortens it and makes it a little more exciting to read, just so you can get the gist of what's going on without having to learn all the background.
It'd read like thousands of years old documents and books,
and there's just so many characters that like keep recurring because there's all these gods who are very powerful, so it's a lot to like keep track of if you don't curate what you're reading and know some things ahead of time. So there's like a little backstory too about Thor and everything in the beginning.
Right. Cool. He's like science fiction, right? That's kind of like...
No, I'd say it's pretty fantasy-y.
Oh, okay. I always associated him more like science fiction than fantasy. Okay, cool, interesting.
American Gods is kind of about the struggle between folk and technology, but it's not really science fiction because like the gods still exist. They're just fighting technology gods, which is not really science fiction.
Yeah, no, I've never really read any gay men, but I know you and like Cam and like a bunch of our immediate like friends are always reading a lot about him or from him.
Yeah.
And so like I've been curious, but I never have.
Yeah, I'd say check out like Good Omens or Neverwhere or something. Those are pretty short and easy to read, and Good Omens is hilarious.
But I do like short stories a lot, and that's kind of like mostly like throughout this last year is kind of what I've been reading mostly, short stories. I like the short format. And so I would be very, very interested even in reading like a short format stuff, you know?
Yeah, you should check out the short story if you are interested. It's called A Study in Emerald instead of Study in Scarlet.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll check it out, and maybe I'll comment on it on a subsequent Dialogue Tree episode.
Oh, that'd be nice. We'll tie things together.
Yeah, of course. So no, I haven't read any gay men, but I guess it doesn't really like tie in because I was going to talk about Ray Bradbury, which is actually like
at least it's literature. It's related, kind of.
It's literature. Yeah. But Ray Bradbury, what I have read from him is like strictly science fiction, and I did read his collection of short stories called The Illustrated Man.
Oh, okay. Wait. So in the collection of short stories, at the beginning, it has a little, I don't know what you call it, a dedication. And he says, I'd like to dedicate this to Ray Bradbury, who I'm sure would have done a better job writing it than I would. So there you go.
No shit.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. I love that. Excellent. That's good. That's great. But no, yeah, this collection of short stories by Ray Bradbury is one of like the most beautiful, gorgeous shit that I've ever read in my entire life, dude. Like honestly. So there's a frame story that kind of like frames all the other, that kind of like contains all of the other short stories in the collection. It'd be to the point, dude, that they were like sometimes so like heavy handed that like I would finish reading one of them, and I would have to like take a deep breath, close the book, and just like sit and stare at the wall to like try to digest everything that I had just like consumed. You know what I mean? So I do recommend that. I don't know how deep into it I want to get. Because I could go on for forever, and I think it'd be cool. I don't know, whatever. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I would recommend it to anyone really who has any kind of interest in science fiction to check out Ray Bradbury's short story collection, The Illustrated Man, because it's excellent. It's beautiful. There's a bunch of them in there. And they're just quite beautiful to read.
Cool. Is there one in particular you could like remember the name of that you would recommend someone check out if they don't have the book?
My favorite one, and I don't remember what the exact title is, but it's something along the lines of like the end of the world. I think it's like the last light of the world, the last night of the world. I think is what it's called. I would recommend that one. I think that one's top 3 prettiest short stories that I've ever read in my life, and it might even be like one of the briefer short stories in that collection.
Okay,
one of the shortest ones. And I love it. Yeah,
cool. I read a short story that I think was by him. But I'm not sure, so I can't say. I have read you're at Fahrenheit 451, didn't he? I've read that.
Yeah, that's him.
Pretty good. The thing is, you in high school they make you read it, and I knew when I read it, and I read 1984, I was like, 1984 is better.
Yeah,
it's just a little more poignant. I don't know, but I still like his writing.
Of course. Yeah, no, I didn't really read Fahrenheit 451 until recently. I think I read it in 2018 last year.
It's kind of cool.
And I liked it.
Predicted like cell phones or like MP3 players and radio and stuff with this seashell earpieces they have.
Right. No, it's super interesting. I had the same thing back when I was in high school and I read 1984. After I read 1984 when I was like in the ninth grade, not because it was assigned to me for school, just because I had to read Animal Farm for school. And that's kind of like the book that kind of like changed my life. That's kind of like the book through which I discovered what, the world they contained within like universal literature. You know what I mean? That's like the book that kind of like opened my eyes to and opened like my interest in universal literature. And so after I finished reading that shit, I was like, all right, I got to consume more George Orwell. What else has he written? Oh shit, he wrote 1984. I've heard a lot about this book and like other media and whatever. So like I'll read it. And I loved it. But it got to a point where like for a second I felt like whatever, right? Like I was in high school, I was young, and I guess I wasn't quite as like open to like newer ideas or whatever, or I just didn't quite understand how to handle different ideas or whatever. And so like I read 1984, and then I tried reading a couple other like dystopian novels, like one of the
Brave New World,
more famous ones, like yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right, this is kind of the same shit, and I just like 1984 better, so I'm not even gonna bother, And so to this day, I still have the book, but I just never actually read Brave New World. Though I've heard it's good.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I do like how they have.
Yeah, I'm sure
it's more about like. I think it's more about like not. It's not about like control in an authoritarian sense because everyone's just like drugged out, you know, and they're just having a good time.
Right. And there's like tiers, right, of like human beings. Kind of.
There's like this weird like Jesus mystical thing with this kid, but the important part is that they take these drugs that like they just want to have sex and not make any trouble for the authorities.
Yeah. No, I remember that shit. You know what book I read that is excellent and that I actually want to read again sometime soon? Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I don't know if you read that shit. I've never seen any of the movies.
Yeah, I was always going to read that. I never got around to it, but I heard it's very good.
It's hot, man. It's cool because you get like the whole like dystopia vibe from it, like you get like the philosophical side from it, but you also get like a cool kind of like the noir kind of like detective story too. So it's just a very, very interesting read, man. I don't know that I could talk much about it because I read it, like freshman year of college, which was a long time ago, and I haven't really like revisited it or seen any of the movies. So like I just haven't like thought about it in a while. So I don't know how much I can really say about it, but like I do remember thinking that was pretty cool, right? That the fact that you get like the philosophical side of like the dystopia that they live in, but you also get like a cool, like interesting detective story, like police story, that's just gonna keep you engaged till the end. Yeah, that's excellent. I'll recommend that.
Kind of related. I was watching Blade Runner last week, and God, that movie is so good.
Oh shit,
I love it. It's fantastic.
Really, the first one?
Yeah. You just mean not 2084 or whatever the new one is, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new one, and I was watching the original without the awful narration by Harrison Ford.
Okay, yeah. It's good though. And I don't know why I haven't seen it because I've heard, like I've seen reviews about it, and like everyone like
it's great
it or whatever. And I've read the book and I love the book, but I just never actually. I don't even know why I've never.
I'd say it's as good as Alien. Back when Ridley Scott wasn't freaking a hack, man, it was so good.
Yeah. No, I guess I'll have to sit down and finally check that one out.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
What else?
One time we all sat down and watched The Thing, and that was so cool.
Is that Ridley Scott as well?
No, it's John Carpenter, and I only know that because it's called John Carpenter's The Thing. I think I'm getting that right.
Okay,
but
is that based on like a comic book, or is that just
story,
like a movie?
Like just a book.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about the Swamp Thing. That's a comic book. Okay.
It's like one of those werewolf games, basically. One person is this creature or is taking over someone, but you don't know who, right? And they're like spending the whole movie trying to find out who it is. It's really cool.
Interesting. Cool. No, I haven't really seen any movies. I think the last movie that I saw was Joker. And
how was it? I haven't seen it.
It was good, man. I think it was good. It's very, very heavy-handed.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of over the top where people are just like excessively mean to him so he can become the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did get that sense for sure. and I don't know how much I can actually like say without spoiling it, but like, yeah, that's a great way to put it. I hadn't really found like ways to word it, but like, I feel like that wouldn't happen in real life. You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's bullshit people in the world who like just do bullshit things to people for no reason, but like, you know, I don't think one singular person would have so much bullshit directed at them in the span of like a couple of weeks to get him to turn into this villain. You know what I mean? Right. I did get that sense. Everything else I think was really plausible and very well, like, I guess, put together in the movie. I think it's very entertaining, though. I don't know that I would ever want to see it again, you know, because it's just so like fucking like raw. Not I don't mean that because it's bad, just because it's like raw and it's just not like the entertainment that I would look for when I'm just, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch something that is not going to cause me like stress or anxiety.
Right.
But no, it's good. And I think I definitely think it's worth watching, man. Cool. Like, regardless of whether or not you're into the comics or whatever, I do think it's overall a good movie that's definitely worth checking out. And that's kind of like the last recent movie that I saw. Beyond that, a couple of weeks ago, I saw the very first Lord of the Rings again. I think it's like only the second time that I've seen it, because I've been reading The Two Towers. I'm just about 100 pages from finishing it. Back when I was younger, my brother was really into Lord of the Rings, but I was like a lot younger when they came out, and so like I could never get into them. Mm-hmm. Even though we owned the DVD for the first movie, and I tried watching it a couple of times, I still felt like, yeah, I'm too young, and like this is just long and boring to me. So like back then, I must have been like in the fucking, I don't know, first, second, third grade, and I remember then thinking I'm not gonna attempt to watch the movies again until I read the novels. Mm. And so to this day, I read the first one back in like 2014, I believe. And I saw the movie, the original one, the first one back then. But I hadn't like revisited it since. I hadn't started reading The Two Towers up until a couple of weeks ago. And so like to catch up with like maybe like names and terms and places that I may have like forgotten about, I rewatched it. And it's pretty good, man. It's cool. Even though it was super long, like I'd never felt bored as I used to back when I was a lot younger, you know?
Yeah. That's good. I think I didn't watch the new Hobbit stuff they're doing, but I heard it's not quite up to snuff compared to.
No, yeah, that's what I understand.
It's also strange that Benedict Cumberbatch is Smaug.
Oh, he is? He's in those movies? No way.
Yeah, he's the dragon.
Isn't Smaug like the dragon? Yeah. What the hell?
But anyways, yeah, Lord of the Rings is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about finishing the second book and watching the movie. And I have the third book already with me, so that I can read as soon as I'm done. No, I love the first movie. I think it's cool. And Liv Tyler, man, she's gorgeous in that movie. What a spectacle! I just had to throw that out there because I feel like my eyes are not worth seeing that. I was gonna say I was assigned to read The Hobbit back when I was in high school. This was in the 9th grade too, I think, but I didn't, and I haven't to this day. Yeah, no, I guess that's all I had to say. That's not very interesting, but whatever.
Yeah, just the whole world is already made for you, and like so well realized. Like, what a fantastic
in so much detail. Yeah, and so much detail. Yeah, it's right. And that's the interesting part of it, right? Like when I'm reading this, I'm like, how did this dude come up with all of this shit back in like the 1930s?
Yeah, and not even that he was so dedicated, but that it actually was good and stuck. Like I can say the word orc, and you know exactly what that is, even though it's just something he made it up like so long ago. But everyone knows what an orc is still.
And like even like other stories based in like entirely different like fantasy worlds and settings, like if they talk about orcs, if they talk about elves, like they still maintain the same principles, right? Like the elves were like the first race. They all like kind of follow along this. They're totally different universes and worlds and whatever, but like they still draw from like the same general, you know, sort of, I don't even know how to say this anymore. I guess it's the same general like idea or principle.
It's kind of crazy that the work of one person has been so like instructional in fantasy world building that it is generic to copy his work. It would be considered generic. That's wild to me. Of course.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting read, man. And if you ever like don't have anything to read and you feel like you want to read something, I would recommend. It is a commitment though, because there's like 3 books and they're all really long and dense. But like, I don't know if you're up for it, man. It's interesting. It's an interesting read for sure. It's relaxing, you know. it's relaxing in the sense that like it's clear. It's it's relaxing in the sense that it's very clear who the villains are. It's very clear who the good people are, and so you just kind of go into it knowing that the good people are going to triumph, right? So like it's just interesting. It's relaxing in the sense that you know what's going to happen, and it's just cool to read about the journey and how it all happens, and just like read the backstory of all these creatures and how they get along with each other. That's kind of what I like about it, you know, all their interactions and stuff like that. I love the interactions and how much they like show that they care for each of the other characters and everything. I don't know. This is a whole experience, and I've been very much enjoyed reading through the Two Towers, man.
I think I do have it. I think it's the only one of the trilogy I do have, actually. But I think I would always fall back on The Hobbit if I were to read a Lord of the Rings book. I think I'd pick The Hobbit. I read it when I was younger, so it feels more nostalgic to me.
Right. No, that's totally fair. I haven't read it, man, and I should get to it. I'm like so invested in this shit now that I want to read like even more stuff based in this. Like I want to read the Silmarillion.
Oh yeah,
The Hobbit and everything. You know what I mean? I'm super. I'm really invested in it now. I guess switching gears 100% towards new territory and towards new ground. I wanted to ask you, dog, if you've listened to the new Huey Lewis and the News album.
I have. It's excellent, dude. I love that.
Okay, cool. You recommend? Because I haven't. I've heard about it, but I really haven't.
No, I saw it came out a couple of days ago. I would say that it's a bold new direction that stays true to the original 4 out of 5.
Okay, cool. cool. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'll definitely be checking that out, and I will report on it sometime in a subsequent episode.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Do you want to, I don't know, is there anything else that you want to bring up?
Yeah, real quick. You don't know what Desert Bus is?
No, you mentioned that in a message earlier today, I think, and I have no idea what that is yesterday.
A lot of people, I bet, don't know what Desert Bus is. Desert Bus is a joke mini game made for an unreleased video game that Penn and Teller produced, where in real time you simulate driving a bus from somewhere to Las Vegas. It's like a long drive through the desert, and it's in real time. So for hours, the bus tilts to the side, so you're forced to actually sit there and just drive the bus. You have to do it, and there's no one else on the bus. You can't talk to anyone. You can honk the horn. You can open the door. There's nothing to dodge. There's no cars.
Is this the precursor to Death Stranding?
Yeah, it is Death Stranding. If you crash, you have to get towed in real time too.
Damn. So you have to like wait for like the crane people to. Gee.
But it's just been kind of infamous because of that, and I think there's actually like a charity where people stream themselves playing it for like as long as possible to raise money.
Yeah.
Every year, kind of like a GDQ thing.
Right.
But the reason I brought it up is because someone recreated Desert Bus in a Doom 2 in its entirety.
No way. And the Doom 2 engine? Damn, yeah, I need to check that.
2 assets. I'll leave a video link in the description of this.
Yeah,
so people can go check it out because it's awesome.
I bet it is. I'm super intrigued by this, and I need to go check that shit out. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else off the top of my head that I've like pressed to share with you and the world and anyone who listens to this shit. So I guess, Matthew, what did we learn today, man?
Today we've learned that you should proofread your reviews before sending them out, and also keep an eye on what kind of content you leave out there, because I feel like IGN is going to take that review down.
Yeah.
If people actually talk about it.
You're right. No, I like that. That's a good one. Excellent. Cool. Closing remarks, man.
I had a good time. I found your bingo basket particularly amusing. Really.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to put up an image of that on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So that our 3 followers can go see what we're talking about.
Dude, I would if I heard this episode, I would have to go check it out just to see it. Like, there's really no other way to get it than to just see it, Yeah. It really has an air about it.
Right. Cool. All right, man. Well, this is certainly a good time. Sorry it took so long for us to schedule the actual recording, but we got to it. Yeah, sorry it took me a long time to actually schedule this recording. Yeah, that's my bad. I take full responsibility for that shit. But I'm glad we finally got to it.
Yeah, it was fun.
And yeah, it was a good time. I don't know if I should say this on air, but I do have a lot of people interested in coming in as special guests. So anyone listening, you better be prepared for a bunch of special surprises we might have for you guys coming soon.
Maybe next week, maybe in like, I don't know, 2 weeks. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it works out.
We'll have other people. So keep an eye out on that shit.
Oh, man. Cool. Quick announcement. Alex Ha, infamous, terrible video game player, is a avid League of Legends fan. He plays it a lot, and I never play League of Legends. I have challenged him to a 1v1 duel, commentated by Nicholas Kirshner.
Excellent.
And I will be back with the results maybe next week.
Will this be broadcasted anywhere that our listeners can check out?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely upload it to YouTube afterwards.
Excellent. Great.
But cool. I would like to maybe interview Alex on the show. Even if he wins, I'll let him come on the show. But he won't.
Of course. He won't. Of course not. Of course not.
All right, that was a good time.
Great. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone who's listening. Once again, I hope everyone is happy. Yeah,
we'll see you later.
Cool.
Just like the sun.